been cleaning, and I hit all of this with red Scotch-Brite and a little bit of 100 grit sandpaper in a couple spots to just smooth everything out. I need to get rid of the zip tie. It's holding fuel and brake lines in the bottom, just out of the way while I was working on the bottom. But I think I'm ready to paint, and I think I'm gonna do the majority of, get all the tunnel done, all this bottom, all this, the floorboards. I think I'm gonna stop just above there, probably just below that crease. Yeah, I'll have to see how I can mask that up just to make sure that I get enough paint coverage and everything. And then of course all this back here, and then I'm gonna go to the seam between the, I don't know what that's called, the trunk divider and the floor pan. I'll stop right there and get all this stuff. Did little spots here and there just to keep it from rusting. So yeah, I cleaned it all up. And at least down there, I haven't cleaned the sides up or anything, but I'm not planning on painting any of that right now. So yeah, what I'm using is this Rust-Oleum red oxide primer, or I guess it's Krylon Pro Professional, and it does real good. I did that side in it. Of course it's dirty, but it actually turned out real well. I'll bring you back when I actually cover this. I'm actually trying to debate. I'm cleaning the bottom because I want to repaint the bottom and make it, it's got a bunch of the coating that they put on from the factory, not from the factory but aftermarket. I want to clean all that stuff off and get it back. I want to get it back to this and make it nice and clean looking. My first thought was to use this stuff on the bottom, but it's pretty bright. You guys give me an opinion on that. I don't have the ability like Eric or Roger to spray. I'm just not set up for that. It would take me a while to learn how to do that. I know there's an epoxy, two-part epoxy that Roger uses that is very similar to that color that would be perfect. I just don't have the ability to spray right now. It'd be another long learning lesson, and I'm not sure I want to do that. I want to get this car back on the road and at least drive it a little bit. So yeah, give me your opinions, but I'll bring you back when I get some paint laid down. All right, guys. So we got all the glazing putty and everything in here, smoothed and cleaned. I've gone over it a couple times with some TSP and masked it off, so we're ready to paint. I'm gonna go ahead and paint most of the top of the hump as well, all of this stuff up to there, and then all of that over there to make it match this side over here, which is just very dirty right now. Alright, so yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm still working on the bottom. Find a couple pinholes that maybe we can kind of just smooth out and just sand it a bit more. Plus, I'm cleaning all the undercoating off at the same time. All right, we'll bring you back. All right, guys. So, in the process of getting these, this is the driver's side rear. Process of getting all this stuff sanded and smooth, which it's ready to be painted. I'm in the process of removing all the under covering. So you see I've gotten a lot of it cleared, at least at the point where I can paint it again. I still got to do a lot of these little crevices and stuff with the wire wheel. And I need to clean up these, but you see I've got a lot of this stuff. Interestingly enough, I was using wire wheel and it was coming off okay, but it's labor intensive. But the nice thing, what I found was, I went and got my heat gun and a dull razor blade. Couldn't use anything plastic, like a plastic scraper or anything, because they just melt once you get it hot. But then all this stuff started coming off pretty quickly. It kind of shaved right off. Let's see where, still got some work to do in there and stuff. But let's see, where's a good area like that? All that was covered, and it just kind of scraped right off. All that was covered. And let's see, I've got a pile of undercoating that now I have to scoop up and get rid of. But yeah, it's coming along. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do at the bottom here in terms of paint. I need to get so I ran out of paint for this, the red oxide primer from Krylon, so I need to order some more just to cover this up and get it protected temporarily, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do long term. But yeah, I want to wire wheel all these and then mask it off and do all that chassis black. I need to redo that chassis black. I need to go look at some pictures and see if these are actually chassis black or if those are, I think, well, at least what stock tells me is that I got the undercoating off, and that is the red oxide, so I doubt that was black. The interesting thing, look, this, I think this car's never been wrecked, but like right there, you can see kind of a bluish, once I scraped it off there, there's a bluish tint to it. Back there as well. Those, as far as I know, haven't been replaced. And like there, that all looks red. And then you got the same on the outside here. I don't know if there was some, maybe from the factory they did something special on the outside of the rocker or something. That's some sort of blue. So yeah, it's coming along slowly, but we are still making progress. All right, we'll bring you back later. Hey guys, so you see I got paint in the mail. And I'll show you the can here in a second, but all this is painted and looks really good. There's some, you can see some dusty. I told you the stuff gets, the overspray doesn't kind of, the ventilation isn't very good in the car, and so instead of kind of getting out, I put it on a little too heavy right there, and it gets fuzzy. So I'll hit that with some Scotch-Brite after it's all dry. Yeah, everything looks real good. You can see some fuzziness up there as well. I'll hit all that stuff, but yeah, it looks really good because there's a line right in there when I painted this side, and that side was still the original. You see it all blends pretty good, man. You can see the paint streaks there. Or is that actually just the tunnel? That might be just the tunnel, kind of. We'll have to look a little closer. You can see the paint. I think that's paint streaks, actually. Yeah, that's paint streaks. I mean, it's the problems of doing stuff with a rattle can, right? But I don't have the way to do it any way else. Well, when I was looking for this, I had run out of this, and I went to buy it on Amazon again, and they didn't sell it anymore, and I actually had some trouble finding it. So I had also originally had the thought, this is a little bit too red. If you look in the back here, this is the original, and it's a much darker red with some brown. So that led me to the Ace Hardware. I don't know if you can tell, but right there is some more spray paint, and then right there is some more spray paint. I got two different colors. That obviously is way too red. It doesn't have enough brown in it, but that is pretty dang close to the original color. So there's the original up there, and then that's the repainted. And you can see that's the, why that always named is just to get caught in the video. You can see that's this is a red oxide from Krylon. This right here is called Ruddy Brown. Let me show you the can. It's actually from Ace Hardware, but I'm sure Ace buys it from somebody. So I'll have to do some research and find out who actually sells it. But it's a rust stop primer Ruddy Brown. And it actually looks pretty dang close. So I may be doing the bottom of the car with that. Trouble is, this is the red oxide that I had been using, and I was like pretty happy with it. It covers pretty well. Problem is, I had trouble finding it, and unfortunately I had to buy 6 bottles of it, 6 cans of it. So I think I'm gonna do the inside with that color, because you know, all this gets covered up anyway. It'll look close to original. It'll be under carpet and sound deadening stuff. So I'm not gonna worry about redoing this too much. But yeah, that ruddy brown is actually pretty dang close. So just FYI, and I think I'm probably gonna do the bottom of the car with that. All right, we'll bring you along when we get some more progress.